no conversation with Pochettino again at this stage. At the moment, there is no direct contact also with many other managers. Hey guys, welcome back on the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. And today, guys, we touch on Chelsea new manager. What's going on? Many rumors in the last few days. Also on Ruben Amorim, so let's touch on it. But also on McAllister. It was my news during the week about McAllister. I will clarify something more about that and about midfielders. Also Ryan Gravenberch. What's going on with the Dutch midfielder at Bayern and Premier League interest? Let's jump into it together. And guys, I want to start today's video discussing about Chelsea, because we know that Chelsea are going to have a new head coach in the summer. It was never a possibility for Frank Lampard to stay at Chelsea as first manager. He knows that. It was very clear in the conversations between the board, the owners and Lampard. He accepted the interim role, but there is no possibility at all for Lampard to stay. Chelsea are speaking to other candidates, so we know this process started already when they fired Potter. Not even now, it's something that already started that Saturday night when they decided to fire Graham Potter. So Chelsea will have a new coach, and let me clarify one thing. I'm still told, as I'm saying since that moment, that Julian Nagelsmann remains the leading candidate. Nagelsmann has many fans into the Chelsea board, really appreciated by many of the Chelsea director. Of course, he will have conversations with the Chelsea owners and with the directors to present his ideas, his project. He already had some positive conversations in the last few weeks, so the conversation between Nagelsmann and Chelsea is ongoing. This is the situation. Let's see how it will continue. On other managers, Luis Enrique remains in the list for sure. He's the leading candidate together with Nagelsmann. I still see Nagelsmann as the favorite and Luis Enrique as second option. He also had conversations with Chelsea. He was in London with his agent, so they spoke about the situation and he presented his ideas. But Luis Enrique also will have new, fresh conversations with Chelsea very soon. So both of them remain in the race to become the new Chelsea manager. On Luis Enrique, let me mention that he's also been approached by some national team around the world to get a new job. And so this could be a possibility in case Luis Enrique will not become the new Chelsea manager. So keep an eye on Luis Enrique, keep an eye on Nagelsmann, as we mentioned. Also, guys, it's important to mention Ruben Amorim. You remember that night, it was Sunday, when Potter was officially fired. I told you, Nagelsmann favorite, Luis Enrique in the list. Nagelsmann remains the big name, but Ruben Amorim is appreciated by Chelsea. What I'm told is that Amorim, of course, was not available during the season, and so Chelsea never had any possibility to convince him to join now because he's 100% focused on Sporting. But it's true that Chelsea appreciate Amorim. Chelsea will have some conversations also with him, but my understanding is that at the moment, Nagelsmann and Luis Enrique remain one step ahead of him in the Chelsea list. But people of Chelsea are following Ruben Amorim football at Sporting to have also a clear idea of this young, talented coach. So this is the situation. Let me clarify again. No conversation with Pochettino again at this stage. At the moment, there is no direct contact also with many other managers. Roberto De Zerbi is still not considered a candidate at Chelsea. Then, guys, for Roberto De Zerbi is doing an excellent job at Brighton, and one of the key players is McAllister. I told you during the week that my information is that 3 clubs are informed on the situation of McAllister. I mentioned Liverpool, Man United and Chelsea. For Chelsea, from what I understand, is not a priority now, so they know the conditions of the deal, but at the moment Chelsea have different priorities. For Manchester United, it's one of the possibilities they have in the list in the midfield, but again, depends on the club sales, so how much they can invest on the midfielder. Liverpool will have direct contacts with McAllister people very soon to present their project. So McAllister is a player who's in Liverpool list. This is the situation. From what I understand, guys, McAllister will 100% leave Brighton in the summer. The player has been very clear on that, and it's something that was already discussed with Brighton board. This is what I understand and what I know. So McAllister will leave Brighton in the summer, and my understanding is something will happen very early in the summer, not something for the end of August, deadline day, or this kind of moves. McAllister wants to move as soon as possible in the transfer window, of course. Now he's focused on Brighton, on giving his best to Brighton until the end of the season. Right after the end of the season, he wants to make his move. So this is the situation. Something to clarify also on Ryan Gravenberch, because it's true that Gravenberch is not happy with the current situation of Bayern. He wants to play, he's a young player, he feels that at Bayern there is not enough space for him, so he will have a conversation at the end of the season season, maybe right before, like in May, with Thomas Tuchel and with the board to decide his future. But Gravenberch is not happy with the current situation. He wants to play, he wants to develop, he wants to grow, and this is why the Gravenberch situation is open. Bayern are still convinced he's a top talent. This is why they will fight to keep the player. They will speak to the player. Let's see what Gravenberch will decide. Premier League interest is always there. Some clubs already approached Bayern in January. It was a no from Bayern, but for the summer, Liverpool appreciate the player, but not only Liverpool, also other clubs in Premier League are following the situation of Ryan Gravenberch. So let's keep an eye on the Dutch midfielder. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on new Chelsea coach. Who do you think is going to be? But also Gravenberch, McAllister. Where do you see their future? I wait for your comments here as always. Like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon with Fabrizio.